Welcome to another live episode of GeekOutdoors.com. And so as I was getting ready to work and actually going on my daily commute, I wanted to give you an example of what I have to go through on my commute every day. Now, if you are somebody who actually works for a living, then you probably understand the whole thing about commuting to work. And what I mean by that is you have to drive to work. You might have to take public transportation, whatever it is. Everybody's familiar with that. You know, you get up in the morning. If you have a family, you have to get everything ready, and then you have to make your commute to work. Now, if you live in a big city, this is a huge pain. You know, I've actually been in traffic back into work. It took me about 3 hours sometimes. And then in big cities, you know, you might encounter accidents, you know, so you might be in traffic for more than 4 hours a day, you know, so just think about that. And so your daily commute takes up a lot of your time, but I just wanted to show you what I have to go through to actually get my daily things going and make my commute. So I thought I'd take you along, and let's go ahead and get on my daily commute today. So that's it. This is my daily commute, and I'm gonna go ahead and post this up here. Let me go ahead and change the camera, and we'll actually switch this up, and that's something more familiar. Okay, and so let me get things set up right here. Okay, so this is my daily commute. And as you can probably tell, it was a really short commute. And today I'm going to be talking about what I do in order to be able to have this type of commute, and also the realities of it. Okay, so good morning, Vasil. Good morning, Robert Lopez. Thank you so much for joining. And Vasil, it is nice to see you. Okay, so if you watch my channel or you're new here, I am a geek. I am a content creator. I am a marketer. I love Linux. I love being a geek. Okay, but the one thing that I try to do is I try to give information that shows you the realities, okay, and also the value of it. And my whole thing is I do want to improve people's lives, mainly through technology, okay, or whatever my experiences are. So how do I have this commute, you know, where it took me less than a few seconds and I'm not in traffic going crazy for hours, right? Well, I was able to do that through two main skills. One skill is digital marketing, and the second skill is content creation. So that's why on my website, on my YouTube channel, you'll see content creator, marketer, and then Linux lover and geek. There's a reason why those two are in the front. Okay, and so now I'm going to be talking about the real world applications of this. Okay, and so a lot of people who have probably never done anything like this before, they probably have different ideas of what it means to actually work from home, to have an internet lifestyle, and also the realities of how you actually achieve this, okay, and some of the challenges that you have to go through. So the first one I want to talk about is digital marketing. I have talked about this a lot on my channel. I actually have a playlist entirely dedicated to this. And so as a matter of fact, right now, I do have some digital marketing clients that I'm working on. So one client right here, I'm actually doing some YouTube analysis for their channel so that we can run YouTube ads. And at the same time, I'm also doing a lot of work to improve their brand, okay, their YouTube channel, their website. There'll be SEO, there'll be obviously digital marketing, which SEO is part of. There'll be SEM on here as well. And then I have another client that I'm actually doing their Google AdWords. So this is digital marketing as well. This is PPC, or SEM and PPC. So this is pay-per-click. And so those are the ads, the annoying ads that you're going to see on YouTube. And actually both of them are going to be ads related. So this is the digital marketing stuff. And the second part is the content creation. So here is the content creation stuff. Hey, good morning, Millennium. Hello, thanks for joining. So this is the content creation stuff, and obviously I'm creating content for you right now. And so as a content creator, if you have been on my channel, you probably notice certain types of content. And so the first type of content that you probably see a lot of is my Linux content. And then the second type of content you see is my geeky content. Okay, so my movie reviews, video games, news, geeky news, those are my content creation. And obviously all the tutorials that I do. But one thing I want to separate out is this, okay? Linux and my geeky stuff, all this geeky stuff that I do, those are hobbies. Okay, and I really mean that, and I'm going to explain to you why they're hobbies. And then the digital marketing and content creation, those are not only my passions, but this is how I earn a living. Okay, and so whenever I'm creating content, I have tons of notes. As you know, I love creating content, but at the same time, I treat my content creation like a business. Okay, and also as a content creator, you have to incorporate this. You have to incorporate a digital marketing aspect of it. You have to think about it from a content creation, content marketing point of view as well. And so the reason why I say Linux is a hobby, being a geek is a hobby, is this. Digital marketing and content creation, those are skills that are valuable because every business, every government, every institution needs some type of marketing and they need some type of content. And let me explain to you, we understand that we are marketed to every day, right? But governments market as well. So how do they get their actual message out to people? Through marketing. So even governments use marketing. Marketing has been around, sales and marketing has been around ever since humans were able to sell to other humans. And so that's not going anywhere. And the second part is content creation. And in our modern age, when we think about content creation, we think about stuff like this. But when you are a content creator, you are a creator. And so when humans were able to draw, when humans were able to write words, that's a content creator. And so marketing and content creation has been around since humans were able to do it, and it's always going to be around. So those skills are valuable because if you have these skills, you're able to help businesses, individuals, entrepreneurs, and governments put their message out there. Okay, and obviously for a business, it helps them make more money. It helps them grow their business. And then if you have government entities, well, it's helping to spread the message, the marketing message for whatever the government is actually putting out. Okay, and so the content creation, it's obvious. You're creating content. And the reason why the Linux and geeky stuff is a hobby is because in the real world, I don't think anybody's going to pay you to do Linux distro installs, do Linux tutorials. And if you do get paid to do Linux tutorials, then you are a content creator. And so the only reason you are seeing Linux content or my geeky content, my geeky news, is because I had to be a content creator first to show that stuff to you. Okay, so let me get into some question. All right, so hold up a numpad on the left side. A number pad? Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about there. I'm sorry, VM. Robert is asking, Geek, how do you organize your day? It seems that you can be extremely busy. Yeah, Robert, I'm going to go into that. So I just want to kind of give you an intro because I'm going to go into the reality of things as well. And Robert, you're asking, do you work 40 hours a week? And I'm going to be talking about that, the realities. Vasil is asking, VM says the image is flipped horizontally maybe. Yeah, maybe the image is different from what you're seeing. Okay, it's not. You can plug it either side. Okay. All right. And my keyboard, VM, this is actually a Corsair. I have the Corsair keyboard and also Corsair mouse, and I do have reviews on it as well. So let me talk about what it means to have an internet lifestyle, to work from home, okay? And I really want to talk about the realities of it because I think most people have never done this before, okay? Most people have a job, the majority of people around the world. And in a job, you're normally, I would say more than 90% of the times you're working for a business owner or an entrepreneur. And then the other percentage of people are working for the government or military. It's something government related, okay? That's most people. Now, whenever people think about working on the internet, they have these images of like, oh, I'm going to work from the beach. I have freedom to do whatever I want and so forth. But honestly, I've done that beach thing before. Nobody works from the beach. Actually, you're stupid if you actually try to work from the beach because you can't even see your computer screen and you can't get work done. Okay, so I want to put that out there. Really, it's rare for people to actually truly be working from the beach. Now, on the beach, on your phone, you can obviously check up on your business, answer emails, and so forth. But you're not out there working on the beach, okay? Even if you're writing a book, it's like I said, it's hard to see outside. So I want to put that out there. And then the second thing is a lot of people think that if you work on the internet, right, that you're rich. You're living this internet millionaire lifestyle. You're driving a Lambo and Ferrari. And to be honest with you, most of that is really great marketing. That's what digital marketers do. They market to people. Okay, and so that is not a reality as well. Okay, so I want to put that myth out there. So before I get into the reality part, and I don't see this as a negative, okay, let me talk about the positives of working online, having an internet lifestyle. Obviously, the first positive is you just saw my daily commute. I just turned over to my computer and I'm at work. That's amazing. And another thing that's amazing is something that people do not factor in when they think about work, okay? So, this is my own personal experience. A lot of people, when they think about their job, right, they think about how much money they get paid per hour or per salary. But they don't think about the other costs. The money and time you spend in your car, getting in traffic. You have kids, the money and time that you spend putting your kids in daycare. Okay, and then also you have this Monday through Friday mentality and the weekend mentality, and that's actually trained to you. So a lot of people around the world, they're used to working Monday through Friday, and then they save everything for the weekend. Okay, so that's what most normal people do. Okay, now here is the reality part of it. Okay, and the reality part of it is, as I just told you first, you're probably not going to be working on the beach. And then the second thing is, even though you have freedom, you have responsibility. That is a huge, huge difference from working in a normal job where you're not really entrepreneurial, okay? And when I say entrepreneurial, that doesn't mean that you own a business. That's definitely not what that means. When you're entrepreneurial, most entrepreneurs you could read a lot of books, see the most successful entrepreneurs. Because they're entrepreneurial, that means they are problem solvers. They become really good problem solvers. That's why they're entrepreneurs. Okay, and so they solve a lot of big problems for many people around the world. So if you think about all the businesses that you actually, purchase from, or your own job, you are working for a business, then guess what? They're solving a problem for people. Like my clients right here, I'm solving a problem for them. Okay, they have a problem. They want to grow their business. They want to better serve their clients. And so I'm here to provide that. And you do the same thing in your job as an employee. Okay, so the only difference between the two is your level of responsibility is different. And there are other things. Now, the other reality of it is, people say, oh man, you have this freedom, or they think they have all this freedom, right? But that's why I want to point it out, responsibility. Your level of responsibility is on a whole nother area that's way different than you just being an employee. Because most people who are just employees, who only know about that world, they're normally used to a 9 to 5, okay? At least here in the United States. You work 9 to 5, you get off, and for most people, they don't really think much about their job. Obviously, there are some jobs where you work a lot of hours. Okay, I get that. I've been there myself. Okay, but for most people, they go to job, they do their work, they get paid. That's for most people. Okay, so most people work anywhere from 40 hours to 50 hours. Now, whenever you take this route, you are an entrepreneur. You are self-employed. And so that means that you don't have a 9 to 5. You have whatever time is needed to serve your clients. That's the time that you have. And so it's not unusual for me to actually be working at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning, or to not work most of the day. because I did other work for other projects. Okay, so it's different. And whenever you do this, you don't think about Monday through Friday and then the weekends. That's not how entrepreneurial people think. They think every day is an opportunity for you to do something, for you to improve, okay, for you to better serve your clients, better build your business. And so I don't have that 9 to 5, Monday through Friday weekend mentality. And so that's a huge difference. And it's both a positive and a negative. So obviously the positive is you have way more control over your time. The negatives is you don't have a set schedule, really. I mean, you set your own schedule, but at the same time, if a client needs something, you have issues, you're going to have to solve that problem. Okay, and so that's really up to you to manage that. So let me see if there's other questions so I can answer that. Okay, so Robert Lopez is asking, do you have a hard time separating work from fun, although your vacation seems like it may be a vacation? Yes, Robert. So let me change another thing, okay? I'm glad you asked that, Robert, because a lot of people think about work-life balance, all right? Now, when you're doing something like this, once again, you are an entrepreneur now. And so there is no work-life balance. Your work-life balance depends on your interpretation of it, okay? Let's just say that. For some people, that might mean they only work 4 or 5 hours a day, okay? And for some other people, they might work more than 100 hours a week. And another thing that you want to consider is whenever you do this type of stuff, you need to change your mindset from an hourly wage or salary, okay? And I'm going to get into that a little bit further. Let me see. Okay, so VM is saying, unless you're a sysadmin, you work 24/7. Yeah, VM, I've been there myself. I work in corporations, and obviously I freelance. And so I understand how that works. And before, I worked in a lot of technology companies. And so I did work pretty much 24/7 because we were on call. We had production systems. So I completely understand that world. Okay, so I know what you're saying. Okay, so Robert is asking, Geek, did you self-educate yourself? Did you go to undergraduate or graduate school? Okay, so let me explain something else to you, okay? College degrees. In the whole new modern world, college degrees do not matter. What matters is you getting results. That's what matters. And so that means that you have to have the skills and experience to actually do that. And I would say 90% of the times, college degrees have absolutely no value at all. Okay, because if you can't do the job, if you cannot deliver results for the people that you're serving, then it makes absolutely no sense at all. They don't even ask for your degrees. What they ask for is, let me see the work that you've done. Like for example, if you're doing PPC, I have this campaign set up. They don't care if you have a PhD. Can you set up a campaign? Do you know the difference between campaign, ad groups, ads? Do you understand what a GDN means versus a search network? Okay, and so no amount of degrees is going to help you there. And so you have to do both self-education. Actually, pretty much all of it is self-education. And if you do have experience from your traditional academic education, that helps as well. So in the end, it's about getting results and you having the right skills, valuable skills and experience that will provide results for your clients. Okay? So, so VM said they want to get more cash flowing in. Yep. Robert has asked, Geek, do you miss the physical or visual contact with clients or other employees? Well, Robert, I do both. And so I do meet with clients physically. I work virtually as well. And so it's just that I have multiple experiences. So I've done both and I still do both. And so it really depends on how you want to approach it. Like some people, they don't really like, being around physical other people. And so they choose to just work completely online. They never meet the people that they work with or work for ever. There's certain people like that. And then there's other people who like the physical contact. Like for example, you might have a client and you meet up at a coffee shop, or maybe you meet up at a co-working space, okay, because they like that physical interaction. Or maybe you're like myself where you do both. You have virtual and you have physical. Okay. Let's go further. VM is saying more like get cash, you stop working and keep getting cash balance. I'm going to talk about that, VM. VM is saying luckily VMs made things way more easy. Okay. Okay, virtual managers, I'm guessing. VM say they do. Okay, they do if you do want to at least get an interview list. You know, VM, I think that really depends on what you're looking for. But I'm going to tell you right now, in the modern world, most of them don't care. Okay, and a lot of times, even if they ask for a degree, that's just a way to like kind of filter out some people. But in the end, what they care about is your skills and experience. Okay, because the world is actually different now. Okay, the world is not based upon what degree you have. Okay, it really doesn't. And VM is also saying if you're 55 plus, forget about even get a job nowadays. Well, VM, I will say for a normal job, it is definitely more challenging if you're older. But if you are an entrepreneur, you're entrepreneurial, it doesn't matter. You know, it goes back to getting results. That's what it matters. Okay, so let me talk about some other things about the realities of working this type of lifestyle versus a normal job. Okay, and so in a normal job, how much money you make, I would say is usually limited. Okay, and so this is how you make money in a normal job. You go to work at a company, you gain experience, you spend time there, you get raises, right? And then you're gonna climb the corporate ladder in somebody else's business. Okay, and then maybe later on, as you get to a higher job title, you get paid more. Okay, and so a lot of people, at least in the United States, most people's dream salary is 6 figures. Okay, $10,000 or more per month. And the majority of people who only work a job, most people will never get there. They'll never get to $10,000 or more a month. You know, and if they do, they probably spent a lot of time at that company, many years before they get to that point. Now, when you are entrepreneurial, it's different. Okay, in this case, you don't have any limits. So let me quickly explain to you how you could make $10,000 or more. So I explained to you in a normal job how you would normally make $10,000 or more per month, right? Okay, so that's understandable. But now, if you're entrepreneurial, this is why you need to change your mind. It's not how much you get paid per hour or your salary. It's what can you do to actually get to that number. So if, for example, you wanted to make $10,000 or more a month, right? And I'm not saying this is easy, but I have 2 clients right now, right? So let's just say each one of my clients paid me $5,000 a month. That's $10,000. And then you could just get more clients. Okay? That's how you make $10,000 or more when you're an entrepreneur or when you're entrepreneurial. You can't do that at a job. And then another thing is, you know, within a job, your raises, how much money you make is dependent upon somebody else saying whether or not you are worth getting a raise. And in our modern age, most people don't get big raises. Okay, so if you got like a 10% raise, most people are really happy. But in the real world, in most corporations nowadays, most businesses, most people get like a 3% raise, 3 to 5%. All right. Whereas if you're doing this, you control how much money you make. You control your own raises. And so if I want to make more money, I either get more clients or I create more content. Boom, more money, right? And so I know I simplified that, but that's really how it works. If you change your mind from how much you get paid per hour or how much, you know, salary you get, that's different. Okay, so VM is saying self-employed, either you have money or you end up bankrupt over here. VM is saying, and if you're self-employed, you lack of stability. And VM, I want to talk about that. And I know you're in a different country, but we live in a global world now. Okay, so if you really want to do something, there's other people who already work on the internet, even in your country, right? And so obviously other people have done it. And let me talk about stability and job security, which is, in my opinion, a huge misconception. A lot of people think if you want to be secure, you need to get a job. But you got to remember something. That job is normally a business. It's owned by an entrepreneur. And businesses have ups and downs. And so what if the business lost clients or they went out of business? Well, you don't have a job anymore. So the whole idea of job security and stability, I completely think that's not there anymore. You could lose your job any day because, once again, more than likely it's going to be run by somebody who is an entrepreneur. It's a business. And so most people who are only in the employee mindset or have only worked as an employee, they never see that other side. Because as the business owner, as an entrepreneur, you have to go out and make money. You have to get more clients. You have to keep your clients happy. That's why I said your level of responsibility is way higher. It's way different. And so it's dependent upon you as the business owner to not only make sure your business is running, but then you take care of the people who depend on you as well. But at the same time, you cannot control a lot of things. Okay, and that's the part that I don't think a lot of people in a normal job see. All they see is, man, I get paid regularly, and I hope they treat me right, or they better treat me right. That's simply not the case. And let me talk about the whole job security and stability. The reason why, if you do stuff entrepreneurial where I think you have more job security and stability, it depends on your skills, your experience, your type of personality, and how willing you are to actually put in the work. Because for most people in a job, I would say they just have to do enough to keep their job. That's the reality. If you've ever worked in a job in a corporate environment, after a certain point, people just do enough so then they don't get fired. Okay? And when you're outside of that environment, you can't do that. But the good thing is, when you get out of that environment and you have more responsibility, your mind's always thinking. You're always thinking creatively of ways to solve problems. And then as you get better and better, guess what? Your clients are going to love you. They're going to refer you to other clients. And so you'll have pretty much an unlimited supply. Okay? And things change all the time. That's how the world works. But since you are used to that, you are used to being a problem solver, you know how to adapt. Whereas if you've only worked as an employee, if you lose your job, the only other way that you know how to make money is to go get another job. And so, in my opinion, that is not a lot of stability or safety in that at all, because it's very limited. Okay? And so, of course, there's challenges to doing this. And why am I saying that? And I've said this in another video. It's because for most people, okay, they are trained to get a job. And the reason why that happened is because a long time ago, as I recall, I remember reading this somewhere, entrepreneurs created this whole school system to have unlimited employees. Okay, just think about it. How can you get unlimited employees? Train them since the beginning to only focus on one way of making a living and having a life like everybody else. Okay, so that is how you have the system going. And so people only know and gain experience in one way. They don't teach you entrepreneur skills in school, not real entrepreneur skills. So if you go to all your business classes, most of these people are not entrepreneurs. They're teachers who were trained academically to talk about business theory, but they've never run a successful business. Otherwise, they wouldn't be school teachers. Okay? And so they don't teach you the real world stuff. And so that's why when people make the leap from an employee only to more of an entrepreneurial mindset, and like I said, just because you're an entrepreneur doesn't mean you own a business, okay? You could have a job, you could have a part-time job, and you could be doing side stuff. That's what I mean when I say entrepreneurial. And the thing is, for you to gain these entrepreneurial skills, it takes time, okay? Just think about how long you spend in school since you were a kid all the way through college. For most people, that's 20 plus years. And then if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or a scientist, there might be 10 or maybe 30 years. Okay? And so, VM is saying, yeah, the thing is over here, if you want to keep yourself, your prices won't be even close to competitive with the hyper-massive corporations. Well, VM, I know you live in Spain. I've been to Spain. Okay? And so, like I said, we live in a global economy. And so, if you're always thinking, and this is no disrespect to you, VM, if you're always thinking of reasons why you can't do something, then you'll never do it. That's your own limits. Because other people are doing it in every country. And so if other people are doing it, then that means you're able to do it. You just have to learn how to figure out a way how to do that. So don't let your country limit you. I know that's not easy to say in every country, but if other people have done it, that means that it's possible. So that's the way that I think. So I follow people who've already done what I want to do. That's how I started this stuff. So I looked at how other people who are successful in the areas I want to be in, and I just work backwards. Okay? And VM saying, I'm talking about a country where most companies are small, mid-sized. Yeah, it doesn't matter, VM. I mean, I've been in multiple countries. And so, Robert's asking, Geek, how long have you been an independent contractor? For years now, Robert. And I've still done the job stuff before, and then I've done the contract, and I've done both. Okay, and so for me, this is a lifestyle. And as you probably see with my YouTube channel, everything else, I have multiple things that I'm working on. And here's another thing, okay? Whenever you're doing this, at least for me, I don't see this as work. And I know this sounds cliche. I love this. This is fun. I mean, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy creating content. I enjoy doing marketing. This is stuff I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And so the difference is, and I don't mean this in a negative way, okay, but I have to separate the two. If you're only used to being an employee, then normally most people hate their jobs. And normally most people have to build their life around their job. Okay? That's what most people go through. But when you're doing something like this, you build your work around your life. You integrate everything. So right now I'm talking about what I'm going to do, but I'm creating content for you, right? So I'm still doing stuff for my content creation. And this video will make me money as well, because I'll get paid from ads from it. And this same video 5 years from now will still be watched. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how you integrate your lifestyle with work. And so it doesn't feel like work to me. It's fun. I love this stuff. It's really challenging. You learn a lot, and you're constantly learning. And the cool thing is you get to meet people that you probably would never meet, because most of these people who work online, they're all around the world. Okay? So you're not just working with people in your office in the United States, at least here. You're working with people from different countries, different backgrounds, people from Europe, people from India, Philippines, all around the world, Canada, okay? This is really cool. That's what I love about this stuff. And then at the same time, you get to meet some of these people physically as well, depending on the type of work that you do. Okay, so every now and then, I have to go visit some of my clients, and some of them don't live around me. You know, I have to fly to go see them, which is cool. Okay. They do in Europe, but some of the countries' taxes here are too big to do it. Either you're rich enough or you just don't have a chance. Yeah, VM, I just say you really have to change your mindset, because judging by what you're saying, I don't think you'll ever be able to get out of that, you know, unless you start taking risks, start trying something else. If it's really something you want to do, then you're going to have to put in the work to do that, okay? So Robert say, I believe in school they teach you a bunch of fluff. Yeah, Robert, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like school is not a good thing. It is a good thing, but it's only one thing, okay? And so there are many other skills and experience that you could gain outside of school. So expand yourself, okay? Because if you don't, you're going to be replaced. Because what I'm doing now, right now, it's not a common thing, okay? You might think it's common by going to YouTube, but just think about the people around you. Most people don't work online. Most people still work a normal job, right? But 10, 20 years from now, everybody's going to be working online. Everybody. You know, it just makes sense. And even from a cost standpoint, it saves the company tons of money. Okay, so that's why in some of my videos, I talk about this a lot, specifically my digital marketing content creation videos, is because I want to help people share my experiences so that maybe if this is something that they are interested in doing as well, then they could kind of gain some knowledge from what I'm going through. Because obviously, there's a lot of challenges to this. But the great thing is, just like when you went to school, you learned, you got better, right? This is a different type of school. This is a school of life. So as you get better at this, things get easier. Okay, I mean, not completely easy. Nothing's completely easy, but you understand what I'm saying. So you learn something, you do it, which is the most important. You do it, take action, you gain experience, you learn from it, and then just keep moving forward. It's not really complex in that case. Okay, so learn, do, and repeat. Learn, do, repeat, and move forward. Okay, So, well, laws are here to smash your ideas, and it's not even a joke. Yeah, I'll just go back to what I said earlier, VM. So if you keep thinking that you can't figure out something, then you stop solving problems. So Robert saying, Geek, good for you. Sometimes I feel like a hamster in a hamster wheel. Yeah, I've been there before, Robert. Risk being broke isn't a smart idea. Well, VM, being broke is a state of mind. And so you could either remain that way and always be broke, or you could figure out ways to never be broke. And so I've been broke. I know what it feels like. It sucks, okay? But that's your responsibility. You're not broke because of somebody else. You're broke because you choose to be broke, okay? So figure out a way, okay? Because by judging from what you're saying, you always have reasons for you not doing something. And so then you'll always be in that same position. That's the reality, because I've been there myself. I always had excuses for why I couldn't do something or why I shouldn't do something. Because whenever I quit my first job, it was a long time ago. I've never done anything entrepreneurial. It was scary. I was scared of not having money. I was scared of what people would think. I was scared of like wasting my college education. I have 2 degrees, by the way. And so until I took that first step, I didn't know. And I'm still constantly learning, okay? And for me, it's like a video game, okay? So if you're a geek, you understand that. You go to level 1, you go to level 2, level 3, and so forth. If you're at level 0, you've never done any of this stuff before, and then you try to jump to level 10, that's probably not going to work out at all. The chances of your success is next to 0. But if you treat it like a video game, you level up. Level 0, go to level 1, level 2, and so forth. Just think about it that way. It's a game. Life is a game. That's what a lot of people would tell you who are entrepreneurial. And they don't mean that in an easy way, but think of it like a video game. You level up, okay? Hey, Samuel, thanks for joining. Okay, so VM saying, call me a madman, but I'd like to have a roof and 3 meals a day and a car. Well, if you figure out how to do it on your own, you'll never have to worry about that again, okay? And so if you lose your job, you're going to lose all of that as well. And so, Shanta, good morning. Thanks for joining. Okay, great. Okay, so great, Shanta. So, yeah, so that is basically my daily commute and also my thoughts on this actual internet lifestyle, okay? And so I did talk about this before, okay? If you are interested in learning digital marketing skills, then I do have a course that I took that taught me a lot of really important digital marketing skills, and you will get access to 4 free videos, and then the course is offered after that. If that's something you're interested in, check it out in the description area below. It is an affiliate link, okay? So that is for the digital marketing stuff. This is a course that I highly recommend. If you look at all my digital marketing videos, I always recommend this course. It's the best, period. I've taken a lot of courses. If you're interested in digital marketing, you're interested in this stuff, okay? SEM, PPC, SEO, take this course, especially for the PPC stuff. And then the second thing is content creation. Now for the content creation stuff, obviously I have a lot of videos on my channel that you could watch. You could learn from my own experience. But, you know, as you probably see in a lot of my videos, I do have something special, and I really do feel that it's special, that I offer to people who actually love content creation, okay? I have 30 videos that I've created, and then I have a lot of additional content for content creators and marketers. And this stuff I offer for free. I don't charge you anything, okay? And so that is also in the link area below. And so those will cover the 2 skills that I use to actually have this internet lifestyle. One is digital marketing, which you could learn through the course that I took. Secondly is content creation, what I'm doing here now. And that is through something that I offer, and it's free. You know, my whole content creator series and stuff, okay? And so let me see, is there any other questions that anybody had? I really appreciate all of you joining, okay? Let me see, by the way, the house, it's what you call it, chalet. Yeah, and there's many other areas that I could get into that, but I would tell you another thing. Once you start doing stuff that's more entrepreneurial, you will actually learn a lot of new things, and it's not just skills and experience. The most important thing you learn is your mindset. That's the most important thing. And everything that a lot of you have said and I thought before, period. I've been there through all those stages, you know, and until I actually started getting into it, I read more, I took a lot of action, I continued to take action because you always want to improve. There's never an end, okay? And the thing is, even when you make a lot of money, money is just a tool. And money is just a result of what you've become. And so when you get better, you make more money naturally. You just do. And so after a certain point, you don't worry about paying bills and stuff anymore. Okay? And I don't mean that in like a negative way, okay? It's just that that is not your highest priority. Because after you make a certain amount of money, and you know you could continually do that because of the skills and experience you have, then you focus on other things. You focus on growing. You focus on how can I help people. Okay, so here in the whole digital marketing world, the most important thing here is my clients. Okay, they are the most important thing. And then in the content creation world, the most important thing here is the community, you. And so they work together. And so just think about it that way. Just think about not just yourself, okay? Because that's one thing that I would tell you right now. If you're going to do something entrepreneurial and you're only thinking about what you can get out of it and not what you can give first, then you might as well just stay in a job and be an employee for the rest of your life. Because that won't work in this other world. Because you always have to think about how can I help people. That's what you always have to think about. How can I add more value? And I know it sounds cliche, but that's true. Think about all the stuff that you use every day. All the businesses that you interact with, you're using stuff from businesses every single day. Every day. And think about how much value you get out of that. What are the things that you pay for? And so you would not pay for those things if they did not provide something valuable to you. And even as a content creator, you would not watch the person's content unless you got something out of it. And the thing is, it's reciprocal. It goes back. Okay, so not only do I give, but I get as well, and vice versa. So it's a relationship. And so the great thing also about doing this stuff is you get to choose who you want to work with. That's huge. And just like YouTube right here, I choose who I actually want to have a discussion with. Because, there's a lot of people that I don't want to have a discussion with. And the same here, there's people that I don't want to work with. Okay? But the great thing is when you do this, you have choice. Okay? And so in a normal job setting, you don't have that much choice. They tell you kind of who you need to work with. Okay? Whereas here, you can work with whoever works well with you, just like I am with my YouTube channel. I don't spend my time with people who aren't interesting and who doesn't provide value in return. Okay? And so same thing here. So it's a give and take. So let me see if there's anything else. Okay. Shatter, good to see all you guys here. Got to go for it. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Yeah. And so I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. But first, before I do that, I do want to thank the people who are on here. And so just remember, you're doing this stuff, the digital marketing or whatever you're doing for clients, always remember the client is the most important part. Okay? And then if you are a content creator, you, the community, you are the most important thing. And in the middle is you. Okay? So just remember that. So first I want to thank Vasil. Thank you for joining. Robert Lopez, thank you for joining. VM, thank you for joining. And then I saw Samuel on there as well. Thank you, Samuel, for joining. And then I also saw Shatter as well. Samuel S. Shatter. All right. Thank you so much for all of you for joining my daily commute today. It was really interesting, and I do appreciate all your comments. And I do hope that whenever I make these videos, okay, and I don't make these videos too often on my channel, okay, but whenever I do them, it's primarily to help share my experiences. And if it's any way that it could help somebody, that's the best thing for me. Because I got started doing this, honestly, because I saw somebody on YouTube. That's how I got started. I saw that they were able to do it. And I did do a video a long time ago where I talked about my top 5 business channels. And yeah, you could go watch that. I will leave it in a card somewhere, or I'll leave it in the description area below. But it's my top 5 online business channels. That's kind of what really inspired me, because I saw someone else do it and have success. And so that means I could do it if I put in the work. Okay? And so thank you for joining and getting to discussion. And for anybody else who's watching this now or later, thank you for your time, because time is the most valuable asset. And if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to subscribe. And now I have to get to work. So we'll see you on another live episode.